Brodes Media.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Brodes. So the Knicks take game one, and I want to set the record straight before we get into Joel Embiid's health, before we touch on the rebounding, because that was abysmal. For the Knicks fans that are screaming Knicks in 4, and for the Sixers fans that say now it's all over, have you watched playoff basketball before? What you can't let happen is one game sway you so much that you think everything is over because of one outcome. Now, where there's real concern is if you think Joel Embiid isn't going to be able to play through whatever he's dealing with. Then, if that's where you're at, I could get on board if you think that they're going to fail, because without him, they don't have a chance, and I am concerned from that aspect. So maybe that sounds hypocritical, but I'm just telling you, if Joel Embiid finds something and can actually make jump shots and be a force and be fantastic, and maybe that happens on Monday, I'm not ruling it out. I'm scared, though, because his jump shots were short, and he clearly wasn't rebounding and jumping well. He just looked so off when he returned from that disastrous look when the camera was shooting from over top of him, and his eyes were wide open, and he was blinking. It almost felt like he knew something was up, and he remembers that feeling. But let's take a listen here to the ESPN broadcast, because Lisa Salters gave us a little nugget on the sidelines right as the second half started. There was 11:46 remaining in the third quarter, and Lisa Salters hit us with this.
Hey, Mike. Well, as he was coming out of the locker room, Nick Nurse said he did not know what Joel Embiid's status was. As we can see, he's out here on the court right now. But I wanted to share something that Joel said to me on Wednesday before that game with the Heat. He told me that he was still trying to get back to trusting his surgically repaired left knee, that he was freaked out when he tweaked it 8 days ago against Orlando. Said he's got to realize that when something like that happens, and it will, like it did tonight, that he's going to feel something in the knee. And he says it's okay, the knee is fine, but he said he's still convincing himself that he can fully trust himself on the floor, and that's where the mental part of it comes in.
Well, that's not good. That's not good. But the reason I play that is maybe he felt something and his face was all concerned and he was lost and he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to say. He wasn't even talking to the trainers. He was just staring into the abyss. And maybe that was him reminding himself as he was on the floor that you're going to feel certain things, but that doesn't mean that it's all lost. I don't know. I'm looking for some sort of optimism here that he could turn this around, because if this is the version of Joel Embiid that we get, well, then you're not winning this series. Then Knicks fans can have a bunch of fun and start running through the streets because they will advance. You need Joel Embiid, right? Whenever we discuss if Batum this, if Buddy Hield that, Buddy Hield stinks. My God, when was the last time he did something relevant? So no matter what, Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, those two in the third quarter definitely made an impact. And what a surprise run. I really didn't anticipate it, but it was a hell of a run for them to outscore the Knicks the way they did in that third frame after only scoring 12 points in the second quarter. But that made sense because everything was unraveling and totally running right through their grasps when Embiid went. They didn't know what to do when Embiid left. They had no idea. I mean, the Knicks just had the surge. The building was going bananas. Of course, that they're going to lose a lot of identity when that guy's not available on the floor. So to their credit, they did have a bounce back in the third, but none of that is relevant if Joel Embiid is going to be a shell of himself, because he's not right. And there's a difference between playing through injury and not being right. He's going to be playing through injury the moment we knew that he needed some time off in the regular season. There was no world where he was coming back and being 90%, 95%, 100% back. It was always going to be with limitations. But I need those limitations to be stretched out more than what we saw tonight, or you have zero chance. In the fourth quarter, I'm watching 5 Sixers jerseys surrounding Mitchell Robinson, and this guy's getting a couple rebounds and a big-time slam. It's disgraceful. I'm watching Josh Hart are. One of them was a tougher jumper, but the other one's wide open. OG, wide open, and miscommunication on the defense. That's terrible. It's terrible stuff. And don't even get me started on what Nick Nurse was doing at the end when nobody fouled. I don't care that they probably weren't going to win the game. That's not what it was about. It's a 7-game series. I want you to make a damn statement. Listen, fellas, you might have taken game 1, but we play again on Monday night, and this is going to be war. We are going to take you down to the wire. You have to earn this puppy with all your free throws. This whole, hey, we surrender, we throw up the white flag, we're not going to give it our all. That's no good. That's no good. Now, maybe the team wasn't doing the right thing. Maybe Nick Nurse said that we should foul, then all the players didn't, which would be another problem, that there's miscommunication going on. But what a joke. Your bench got nothing. 7 points from your bench, while McBride's punch off the bench was absolutely insane. I thought you actually did a pretty good job of holding Jalen Brunson to a reasonable number. He shot 8 of 26. The problem is you allowed 23 offensive rebounds. 23! 23! One guy on their team had 7! How in the world is that possible? And that's the tall task that Nick Nurse has to figure out in this coaching matchup on how to help out his team, because that's a strength of the Knicks. So what can we do schematically to put the Sixers in a better position to help out? Because they're a hungry team on the glass, and they will contribute to second chance points. You need to limit the second chance points. So if you hold one of their best stars to 8 of 26, but their offensive possessions have life, and they keep swinging the ball around after a big O rebound, the 8 of 26 is irrelevant because they're getting success in other ways. So you have to clean it up. Joel can't jump right now, so who else is going to help out? In theory, I would like Tobias Harris to help out, but that guy is so lost, it's unexplainable. The corner 3 to start the game off was essentially it. From there, dumb fouls, stupid fouls, 1,000 feet away from your own basket. Stupid. I mean, he plays stupid basketball. Stupid. In what world, man? When he's picking up fouls, I was starting to get excited. And I've been the one saying that there might be a game where Tobias actually does something positive this series. Well, game 1, big fat negative. Game 1, big fat red X next to Tobias's name. It's a disgrace, man. Like, you're too good of a basketball player to play this poorly. You're playing like Furkan Korkmaz. And believe it or not, Tobias Harris is 6 times the player Furkan Korkmaz is. So for him to be this out of touch with the game is so ridiculous to me. So ridiculous to me. Out-rebounded 55 to 33. But yeah, no, I mean, the bigger story, I know everyone's going to go to rebounding. For me, it's Joel Embiid's health, because you don't stand a chance without Joel Embiid. So Nick Nurse spoke to the media and said that Embiid will be assessed post-game as usual, but he did not provide much information other than that. Nurse says, I don't think so, when asked if there was any thought to shutting Embiid down with the constant scares and that Embiid continues to want to play and play through these issues. Of course he does. I'm not questioning Joel Embiid the person. I'm not questioning Joel Embiid the athlete. I'm not questioning the competitor. You know, I even see Sixers fans taking shots at him that you shouldn't try to make that dunk. Yes, you should. That's what makes special, is the ability to be creative on the fly, throw the ball up, take a slant. The landing, I mean, if he would have dunked, the landing, regardless of off the glass or not, passing it off the glass, him jumping and landing is what happens. When you're playing the game like this at an NBA playoff level, you're going to land on your foot, you're going to jump up in the air, you're going to try and dunk it. He's even going for loose balls at the end. The dude's tough as nails. You should see my comments section on Twitter, which you can follow me on Twitter at Brodes81. And by the way, we're incorporating Brodes Media back on Twitter after Elon Musk suspended my account about a year ago, so at Brodes Media _ if you want to throw a follow over there, I greatly appreciate it. Embiid's soft, Embiid's a loser. I mean, it sucks. There's guys that you can look through the history of the NBA and say one of the most individual skilled players the league has seen but the NBA gods never let them fulfill out their ceiling because they never stayed healthy. And that seems to be where we're at here with Joel Embiid.